one. Hello!
Hi!
And welcome to Prospects of Kidkind, the show where knowledgeable children debate knowledgeable adults. Today we have a super special treat. I'm Eliza, this is Celia, and our guests today are Seth Mnookin, who is the head of the graduate science writing program at MIT, also a professor there, and in charge of the DeFlores Humor Grant, which is an awesome grant at MIT that I received once. And also Max, his son, who is in first grade at the Edward, what's it called? What is it? Devotion School.
Hey, Maxie.
He's an older brother, and he has a pet dog named Blue, and he loves reading and Legos. Celia?
Awesome. So we're super excited to have you guys today. Seth, could you tell us a little bit about one of your favorite books?
Sure. Well, right now I am very into the Harry Potter books because Max and I are reading them together. We are about 180 pages into the Goblet of Fire, right?
Awesome.
And I think so far my favorite Harry Potter book was Prisoner of Azkaban.
Mine was definitely Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets, yeah.
Nice. Awesome. And how about one of your books, your own publishing?
My favorite one of my books?
Yes.
Or...
Seth is also a New York Times bestselling author. Forgot to mention that.
The most recent book I wrote was about vaccines and why they're important and why some people think that they're dangerous. And that was, I'm probably proudest of that book.
Okay.
I had a lot of fun writing my first book, which was about the New York Times, and it was sort of like a detective story almost. So that was, I love detective stories, so that was a lot of fun.
Great. Cool. And what's your favorite book right now, Max?
My favorite book is called Geronimo Stilton. It's about a mouse
What about him?
who lives in a city on an island.
Awesome.
And then he works for a newspaper.
Oh, of course.
Naturally, as all mice do.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a good job for a mouse.
And I just really like that book.
Cool.
Awesome.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about books and age and wisdom and play. So our first question is, what does age mean to you? What responsibilities come with being, say, an older brother or a father? How does this affect you? Potentially, in some alternate universe, could a child be older than their parent, or could a parent be really young? And so does age matter, and does age equal wisdom? Do you want to start, Max?
Well, I don't exactly know how a child could be older than their parent unless the child was born older than the parent, which would be almost impossible.
Almost.
Because then the child would be growing inside a child, inside a tummy.
True.
That would be that would be
good.
painful and difficult.
Yes.
Right.
But philosophically, would it be fun to have a parent that was younger than you, maybe? If it was possible.
Or if for some crazy reason the person who was older than their mom or dad counted a day as a year. Or a month as a year.
Well, what outside of the fact that it would be impossible, is there anything what are the advantages of having a parent that's older than you?
Well, so I guess that's sort of hard to explain.
Well, sometimes when we talk, is it helpful that I've experienced things that you're going through?
Yes.
So that's one
Yes.
advantage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely an advantage.
Do you ever feel like I don't remember what it's like to be a kid? Maxie,
Yes.
taking some notes?
He's
Yeah.
writing a book while he's...
Not writing a book.
Okay, cool. What do you think?
I do think it's good for that parents are older than their kids.
Yeah.
I mean, mainly for the reason that we just talked about, that I think sometimes if Max is experiencing something, or our Eliza, his sister's name is Eliza,
Right.
is experiencing something, it's helpful for his mom or I to have gone through something similar.
Yeah.
Because I know when I was a kid, oftentimes things felt really overwhelming. So sometimes it might be useful to have a parent to be able to say, I know this feels overwhelming, but it's not always going to feel this way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it could go both ways. Kids have a lot of wisdom
True.
that adults do as well. Cool.
Okay, awesome. So my next question relates to the play Hamilton. And in the play, Aaron Burr, his sort of philosophy of life is talk less, smile more. Opposed to Hamilton, who, wants to go running in the streets telling everyone how he feels and be really upfront with everyone. But Aaron Burr thinks, I should keep these things to myself, and, we shouldn't really give away that much about ourselves to everyone. And I was just wondering, what do you think, Max? Who do you agree with more?
I think I agree with both because, back in the Revolutionary War, Hamilton couldn't have he made the best new plan, and then he shouted it all out to the British.
Not to the British,
Or,
to the Americans.
no, to the British, because they were fighting the British.
Right.
So then the British would just be able to defeat them. It wouldn't be so easy. They could just figure out another plan.
But he didn't want the British to defeat
Yeah.
them. Right. So he told the Americans and not the British.
Yeah. But Burr is just, and some secrets, like if someone tells you the most important secret in the world and then you shout it out,
Right.
that isn't like what you should do.
True.
So both of them are right in different ways.
Yeah.
Good.
Interesting. What do you think?
I think that's a tough call. It's especially it's hard for me talking about Hamilton and Burr because I think in the play Hamilton's a more appealing character.
Right.
So I want to root for Hamilton. But I think Burr's advice is probably pretty good. That sometimes it's good to hold things a little bit closer to your vest. Because if you give everything sort of away, then there are no surprises that you can bring out later.
Right.
Interesting.
Very good.
Cool. Okay, so our next question is, why is playing important? How do Legos help facilitate play? And how do Legos help you expand your imagination? I think it's like when I used to play with Legos. I don't anymore, right?
You should.
I
That's
still
what she
do.
says.
I still play with a bunch of stuff. Anyway, my dollhouse collection. Okay, but just it's crazy to me that you can imagine something and have all these things going on in your head, and then using something like a Lego, you can kind of build your thoughts, and that's really cool. And how do you like to play with Legos, or why is it important to even play? What do you think?
I like Lego because it's like I feel like it's satisfying to just put a brick on top of a brick.
And
That
feel it
sounds-
click
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
But when you build, like when I build, I'm usually building sets.
Yeah.
Almost always. And you are these days have started making up your own things, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
So what do
I
you
get instructions to sets on Google and build them myself.
What's the latest thing that you've built?
I went to the Museum of Science and then I got inspired and I built my own Lego Museum of Science.
Oh,
which is about 13 or 14 times smaller.
than the real museum?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably even more than that. But
Yeah.
so that you weren't following instructions for that, right? That was all just
No,
your.
Awesome.
That was just me.
So what's fun about?
And for you, there's one Lego museum that you own.
A Lego museum that I own?
Yeah.
Oh,
The police station. The police, the museum, and then the robbers are robbing it. And then,
oh, that we haven't made yet.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. There is a Lego set that we have where robbers are stealing from a museum.
Oh, wow.
Right. We have not
cool.
yet I think you've been
And
wanting
then
to
it has
open
like a
that.
police truck and a police helicopter and a
so
bad guy
cute.
truck.
Right.
That's cool.
That's true. I forgot about that. That's
Yeah.
true. But we don't have any other museums.
Yes, Lego doesn't make any on Google. Google
Yeah, I don't-
doesn't know of anymore.
I don't know about any. We have like the Ghostbusters
The,
firehouse.
yeah, we have that.
Lots of Legos.
I thought you were going to talk about the Sydney Opera House, which isn't a museum, but it's a big fancy opera house.
Yeah. We have a model of that.
That's
It's
cool.
like this wide, this tall.
I think even bigger.
Yeah, maybe
It's like
that
4,000 pieces.
wide. Yeah, that tall.
Wow, not bad. Maybe you could tell us about your theory of buying the Lego sets.
Yeah, that's a little bit embarrassing. Well, Max, do you know what's my theory of buying Lego sets? When I buy sets, what do I
Yeah,
do?
you hide most of them from me.
Well, there's that, but I also tend
Yeah.
to buy two on the theory that
Yeah, and then they stop selling the set, and then my dad sells it on eBay.
But I have not yet had any success. We have
We have a Death Star, and then you know what Lego did?
What?
They made another Death.
they made a new Death Star. Yes.
Wow.
We have a lot of Lego in our attic.
But
that-
they stopped making the Sydney Opera House.
They did, and we also have a Sydney Opera House in the attic. It's true.
How about
So it still hasn't profited.
No, it
Yeah.
has not been it is not. I think there's a reason that I'm a science writing professor and not a business school professor. This is not has not proved to be the best plan so far, but
to buy extra sets?
yeah, to buy extra sets. But I became very obsessed. Do you remember how I started using Lego? Do you remember that story?
Yeah, you bought the Lego R2-D2 thinking
Right.
we could build together, and then it was like ages 8 and up.
No, it was ages. You were 2, and it was ages 16 and up,
Oh.
which I didn't realize till I got it. And so then I built it, and I never really built Lego
I remember
as a kid.
you getting so frustrated with the Technics inside.
Inside the R2D2, that is true.
Daddy's angry.
That is true.
And it's like, and you're like, "Ugh,"
It's
and then
true.
you bring like the whole thing into the other room.
It's true. It's
Yeah,
because I forget what part it was. I think it was.
Like you were like this whole Technic thing, like
Technics is
stuff.
like the
it's like
engineering
kind of Lego,
part of
but
Lego.
it's like you can like make it turn and flip and
Oh, okay, yep.
zoop and
Cool.
loop and loop
It was an expert model, and I might not have been at the expert level yet.
Cool. Okay.
Awesome.
Did it
I did it. You helped.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I was probably not too much
You were a
help.
little young.
Okay. What do you want to be when you grow up, Max?
I want to have like the most exciting job
Okay.
where it isn't really tense. So like if I was an astronaut,
Yeah.
if I'm in space for
Not
time.
tense.
That would be tense. Yeah.
That would be tense.
Why don't you want a tense job?
Yeah.
Because I do not like crazy.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good
does.
philosophy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put that down with my list of Maxisms. I do not like crazy.
Good one.
So what else would you want to be besides an engineer? What do you
I
think
could
is
be,
the
like-
least tense job on the planet?
Probably like something to do with books. Like if you write books, there's nothing tense.
Oh, you are so wrong.
I don't know about that. Maybe a librarian?
Critic is, dangerous path.
Yeah.
I think writing is the most tense thing I do. I oftentimes wish that I had done something else
Yeah.
that was not so, because the problem that I have with writing is if I sit down
And then you
and
just write it on a piece of paper.
and I open up a notebook and there's nothing. It's just a blank page. It's not like there are no instructions. There's no Lego manual for me to write a book. And oftentimes I find that very tense.
Yep.
That sounds tense. I don't know what the least tense job is.
Yeah,
That's hard.
It's a hard
it depends.
question.
I think everyone's
Maybe
very
like
different.
building movie sets.
That might be pretty tense.
Film. Really?
Physically demanding.
I think I worked in a library once, and that was not very tense.
So my mother's a librarian.
Although I got fired.
You got fired from the library.
Why?
Were you
Why?
eating chicken nuggets in the library?
No, I checked out books without actually taking them out, and then at the end of the semester I returned them all, and they were not happy about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Librarians can be very tense.
Really? What?
Sometimes. I don't know. It depends where you are. But you definitely can't
Probably
eat
like
chicken
if
nuggets.
you're a school library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You probably like don't you there I guess like unless like kids break a lot of rules.
Yeah.
Which I have never done inside the library myself.
Good.
Wow.
Good to hear.
Very good.
That's impressive. And when you were a kid, what did you want to be? And have you become that?
The first thing I remember wanting to be was a Supreme Court justice, which now in retrospect seems like a very odd thing for an 8-year-old to want to be.
Yeah, it sort of does.
I have no idea where I got that idea.
Maybe
but
like a law that someone made that you didn't like.
I think I thought it was cool that no one could tell them what to do. That they just got to be the final deciders for everything. It's
And they
it's a
get the
little
sweet
bit
mallet.
it's a little bit like being a dad.
Yeah.
And that they get to decide and
Yeah.
no one can tell them they're wrong.
Yeah.
Except mommy, I guess, can tell me.
Yeah.
There is no mommy in the court.
Like you're older.
There's no mommy, but well, that doesn't matter. Mommy and I have equal votes on our Supreme Court.
Yeah.
That's good.
But then the only thing I ever remember being since I was in high school was a reporter. As soon as I joined my school newspaper, that was what I wanted
You
to
did
do.
have a lot of jobs.
I've had a lot of jobs.
You were a taxi driver. You worked at a newspaper.
Yep. I made bagels,
You made bagels.
Nice.
delivered pizza.
I was about to say you made pizza, but I guess
I made and delivered pizza. I did both.
Cool.
Wow.
I
What
built
did you work
houses.
for? I remember that. You told me about the truck that you had.
With a truck that
Celia,
I
what
drove.
did you want to be when you were a kid?
That's a really good question. I wanted to be an FBI agent.
Ooh, that's a
I wanted
cool
to
job.
be a detective. Had a lot of those
Really?
sort of secretive.
That's a really cool. I still think every now and then that I
sort
might
of
be able
wanna
to
be
be a
a-
detective.
Yeah.
I sort of want to be a detective.
I think.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be tense?
Well, like I
Definitely.
might get tense cases.
Right.
I just don't like very crazy, but like
But a little crazy's okay.
little crazy
A little
case.
crazy. Yeah. A little crazy.
I just don't want to be like okay NASA. Like I work for NASA, I'm an astronaut, and then someone knocks on my office and says, I signed you up to be the first person to walk on Mars.
You think that would be too tense?
Yeah.
You don't think it would be
tense.
cool to be the first person to do something that no one else in the world has ever done?
That would be cool.
I mean, it would be cool, but it would.
Also be tense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the job.
That's not the job for you. All right.
Yeah.
That's good because I would rather that you stay here than be on Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
Okay.
don't want to be on Mars.
Okay.
I could be an engineer. I could build spaceships.
Sure.
I could build a space shuttle that's only that big. They could fit people.
Could you?
That would be.
How would you do
shrink
that?
the people?
Yeah.
Oh.
It would be
Of
like,
course.
With Legos?
there would be a huge arm right here, and
Oh.
then you would put yourself into the arm, and it would put a thermometer in your mouth. It transformed into a tiny thing that went back into your belly,
Oh.
and then took out all the vegetables, and then you became so small.
Wow, I had no idea about this plan. That is a new plan. That's pretty
It is.
interesting. And I also didn't know that vegetables took up that much room. Is that the main thing inside you, do you think, is vegetables?
Definitely.
What if you're a vegetarian?
Well, yeah, then that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are big.
Yeah,
Like a beet or a potato, you
Yeah.
need a big thermometer to get those out.
big head of kale.
Oh, those are huge.
Yeah.
Definitely. Are you a vegetarian? No?
No.
No. Meat eaters?
Yeah, I'm a carnivore.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have asked that if I already told you my favorite dinner is hamburgers.
Oh my
Yeah, so
god.
back off, all right?
I didn't realize.
favorite is chicken fingers.
Oh,
Nice.
classy. That's also my favorite dinner. And cheeseburgers.
I like pasta.
Pasta's good. What's your favorite dinner?
I like sushi a lot. I'm a big sushi fan.
Do you like sushi?
Max?
Well, for Japanese food, it's probably the desserts, mochi balls.
Do you like mochi balls?
Yeah, the desserts. Yeah, those are really wonderful. And cheeseburgers are also really wonderful.
Yeah, cheeseburgers.
It's great. Okay. Our next question is, what is humor? Do we need humor? What's up with serious people? Do they have it figured out? are we wrong for trying to laugh and be silly sometimes? What do you think?
Well, it is sort of like fun to laugh. I mean, your life would be a lot more boring if you didn't get to laugh.
Yeah.
I agree.
What if it was illegal to make funny movies?
Yeah.
That would not be fun because we watch a lot of. I think almost all the movies we watch are funny.
A little bit funny.
I guess not all of them. Like Frozen isn't funny, and Harry Potter isn't really funny.
No.
Yeah, there are some funny parts.
Yeah, but we just saw Singing in the Rain. I think you
Oh,
laughed.
yeah.
You laughed harder than you've ever laughed before. I think for some of those songs. Yeah. So why do you think if you didn't have to, if there was no
Yeah.
laughter, what do you think that?
Roses or roses?
Yeah, it was a tricky song. If you were serious all the time,
And in the rain.
are we gonna do a performance? We do have time
Do
for
you
us
guys
to break
want to sing a
into
song? Do you want to sing a song for us,
Max
Max?
does a lot. I won't. Max does a lot of singing. What
Okay.
songs are you learning right now?
Opla di Opla Da by the Beatles.
Oh, that
Nice.
goes hand in hand with our next question. Should we talk about that and then maybe you can sing for us?
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you like the Beatles better or the Grateful Dead? The age-old question.
The Grateful Dead sound, but I like the Beatles songs a lot better.
interesting.
So what do you mean by the Grateful Dead sound?
Well, the instrument sounds. Like you could never, if you turned on the Beatles against the Grateful Dead, you could and a different band, you could definitely tell the Grateful Dead between the two other bands.
You mean they have their own very
Yeah.
distinct sound?
Yeah,
Max has also been to a Dead show.
Oh,
Really?
I have.
Wow.
I can't go to a Beatles show.
I know.
I can go to a Beatles show. Well, not a show.
Kinda like a Paul
show
McCartney
with
show?
someone from the Beatles, and it's
Right.
what about you? Grateful Dead or Beatles?
That's a tough. I mean, I'm a very large Dead fan.
Really?
or
Yes, I am.
Dead shirts.
I do have Dead shirts. I've been to dozens of concerts. I have hundreds of tapes.
Wow.
But the Beatles were my first favorite band when I was Max's age, actually. So I think the Beatles were probably more groundbreaking.
The Beatles, weren't they the best band in America?
Well, for a while, I think a lot of people considered them the best rock band in the world. They were certainly the most famous rock
But
band
they were
in the world.
They were classic rock.
Yeah.
They weren't classic rock when they came out.
Really?
Well, because for something to be classic, it has to already be famous.
Cool. Well, we're going to open it up to questions.
Uh-oh.
If someone wants to call in with some questions, our number is on the screen there. And yeah, so we've got two writers, basically.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Hello.
Hello?
Hi, is this the call-in number for the question?
Yes.
I
Yes.
think I recognize that voice, Max.
Yes.
Okay, I have a question for Max and Seth. Mm-hmm. Max, do you know who this is?
Yes, I do. I know exactly who that is.
Okay, I would like to ask if they would debate the merit of vegetables as opposed to dessert.
Vegetables versus desserts.
Ooh.
Max,
really
you want to take that
tough.
first?
Well, you only get to eat you only get to eat dessert if you eat your vegetables.
But what do you think's more important? If you could only eat
Vegetables.
one. Really?
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 You're more
Really?
mature. When I was a kid,
Really,
I
really?
would, as the caller can attest, I would only eat, if I could, I would just eat desserts all the time.
My parents still only really eat desserts.
They
Wow.
skip all the vegetables.
They I was trying to skimp on our meals and just focus on the dessert.
Max eats a lot of kale chips.
Kale chips. Yeah.
Yeah, but
And you were trying to extract the vegetables from your thermometer
From the
shrinker.
start, right, yeah, exactly.
Shrink ray. Yeah.
All right, thank you for your
Thank
question.
you for that question. That was really cool. Okay, so we have about a minute left. A minute and a couple seconds. Do you want to sing a little song until we get another caller, maybe?
Okay.
Oh, another call.
Shoot, we have
No
a call.
song. Hello. Thank you for calling.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi.
Is this the call-in number?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
What's your question?
What's your question?
What, if you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be?
Ooh, good one.
that
Great
Thank
question.
you.
Thank you.
Pops.
No, Uncle Jake.
Don't give away our secrets.
Right. So what would it be?
Superpower.
I don't really want to fly. I sort of want to be super strong.
Why? What would be good about being super strong?
I just want to be like Batman. If I want to be a superhero, I want to be Batman.
We are out of time, sadly. But thank you so much for watching. Join us in 2 weeks, I think, for our next episode. And thank you so much for being with us today,
you.
guys. Woo!
You
Yay!
can sing as we get off.